Welcome to the Life Lab, the place where we experiment with new ways of living to be more successful in life and work. And today's episode is another one in our series on energy. And we're going to look at something many of us rely on, and this idea of pushing through. So most of us were taught that when things get tough, you have to just power on, like push through the afternoon and push through all that tiredness and, maybe the brain fog that you're experiencing. And I've done this loads of times. I'll feel my focus start to dip mid-afternoon and think, I just need to get this finished. But whenever I try to force myself to do that, sometimes the quality of my work drops and I get slower and I maybe second guess things and I have to redo parts of the work anyway. And we talk about pushing through as if it's heroic, and we wear it as a badge of honour. But when our energy dips, forcing ourselves doesn't actually produce better results. It just means that we become depleted more quickly, and our bodies are always giving us signals like a wandering mind or heavy eyes or the need to read sentences over and over again. But these aren't weaknesses, they're just signals that you're really tired. And what's interesting is how quickly things can shift when we pause. So if we have a 5-minute reset, stand up, drink a bit of water, look out the window, we can completely change our state. And it's not really the size of the break that matters, it's how willing we are to take it. So if we give our permission to reset, that's often all we need. And there might also be a deeper layer to this. So pushing through often comes from fear, or fear of not being productive enough, or looking like we're not coping, or fear of slowing down. But it also drains our energy. So when we're operating from that sort of place, everything feels more difficult. So what can we do instead? Well, we can start by noticing the early signs that we are doing that pushing through, the moments when everything feels like it's taking more effort. That's the point to pause, not at the end of the day when you've already completely wiped yourself out, but much earlier before you hit that metaphorical wall. And then we can experiment with a different approach. So instead of pushing through, pause and return, reset, and then come back to the task with a clearer head. And I promise you'll get more done and you'll be better at doing it. So here's your Life Lab experiment for the week. When you hit your first slump of the day, don't force your way through it. Just stop for 5 minutes. Get up, move, breathe, step away from the screen. Then you can come back and see what happens next. And at the end of the week, have a think. Did it make any difference to you doing that and making a change? I look forward to hearing your results. See you next time.